We're on. We're ready to go. Let's move that one up a little bit. Let's take this off the page here for now, and we're going to come back to that in a second. So that should be pretty, I think it'll be pretty exciting. Oh, absolutely. So I want to welcome everybody to Friday's edition of Tomato Talk. Here we go. Top of mind, advancing through obstacles. What kind of obstacles do we have? Oh, there's always something that comes up without a doubt. So what do? Well, we figure out how to do it. We do it again and we make it work. That's the key to success, right? It's not what we do. Well, sometimes it's how we react to it. I'd like to tell you, reacting to things in the most professional manners all the time is the thing to do. And I can tell you it is the thing to do. I only wish I did that all the time. But we do learn from different things. I actually just tried something new and exciting back there. It didn't exactly happen. So, hey, we'll keep working on everything as it continues. So it is Friday. It is Friday, June 10th. June 10th of 2022, almost halfway through the year. Is that incredible? Really is. Just amazing how fast the whole thing goes. But got an exciting weekend coming up and an exciting week coming up next week. After, interesting week this week, a couple of negatives got tossed into the equation there. Not good. Visiting the Seawood Center, the Center for Excellence over at Stony Brook University was definitely a very, very nice thing to see. Amazing, actually, some of the things that these companies are working on. It turned out it was somewhat of a continuation of the companies met over at the food incubator that was out at Calverton in the Executive Air Park, Calverton, New York, Riverhead area. That is a Stony Brook University facility located out there. And there's another one that was really interesting because the amount of companies that were there were a lot more than I ever thought. So it was something like 60 companies operating out of there. They rent space and they rent different size rooms. Think of it like an office building, except for food companies. So they rent different size rooms depending upon their need. They also rent out the commercial kitchen whenever is needed. And they're producing stuff that is being developed. They're also producing items that are full out being sold and sold in larger places. So there was one contract that was in a significant company and they're producing it out there. No idea. No idea. When I was out there on an earlier occasion, not to visit the facility, it was for something else I was there for. I saw the building and it's not a big building. So I didn't expect anything like that. The Seawood Center, the Center for Excellence over at Stony Brook University, was a little different. That one I expected companies of various sizes, obviously not with hundreds of employees, because the facility is not that big. But it turns out, I think the facility was the impressive thing. There is the building. There is the one building that was put together, I think it's like 15 years now, where that was built. And this is on the western side of the Stony Brook University campus in Stony Brook, which is migrating over a little bit into, I think it's St. James in that area. It's the Lake Rover St. James in that area. I believe it's whatever, but it's in the Flower Field Park, and there was a whole bunch of controversy that went along with that. About getting the property, who owns the property, eminent domain. There's always stuff. Definitely always stuff that goes on, with these things. But that one was interesting. So the Seawood Center is on that side of the campus. That's where the Small Business Development Center is also. So I've been down there quite a bit, seen the building quite a bit. But then there's a new building that they just recently put up. And I would say that went up in the last 2 years or so. So the expectation is for them to expand their reach, expand the number of businesses that they're working with, and to fully utilize that building also. Great stuff, right? So now Stony Brook has got the Stony Brook Medicine. You got the hospital on one end. You have the university smack dab right in the middle. And then you have the Seawood Center and the Small Business Development Center, and all of them working very, very well together. There was quite a few overlaps when it came to the conversations that were taking place that day, including having Jonathan Cornreich, the council member, come down to, I think he was, seeing what was going on. You could get it from him, is what the official comment was, as to that. But, with listening to him, he was as inquisitive as any business owner would be, as any other learning institution would be. So he just seems to genuinely really find this stuff to be of interest. He was one who actually coordinated a thing out in Galveston, which I found to be interesting. But you know what? He's serving the community. You got to love people that are genuinely serving the community. Genuinely serving the community. I will definitely repeat that one. So the center is there. The center is growing. The businesses that were there, fascinating. Really, truly fascinating. Number of the food companies came down. I had a chance to chat with them. Number of the other companies that were there, also really interesting, because they're developing new products, new services, new ways of doing something, or they're taking something and they're repurposing it. And I don't mean recycling, I mean flat out repurposing it, taking something that was developed for one thing and then seeing the benefits of that one thing and then using it for something else. Really great. So I do expect to maybe have some of these companies on. This way they can tell you those stories about how they have worked through the different opportunities or different challenges that they faced to find these different opportunities. And I tell you, like so many of them, they had stories behind them. Stories, not just I work for a company, but I started a company, or I'm developing something from something else. Really kind of interesting stuff. So what do you do with all this? What do you do with all this information? I like telling the stories. You? I think what can take place on your side of it is the idea of really taking a hard look at what it is that you do and really making sure that not only are you serving your target market, but that you see the benefits to those that it's clear to, and maybe those that maybe it's not so clear to, but try to get it out get the information out in a manner that is understandable across the board. And that, my friends, brings us to the marketing and the branding and everything else that goes along with that. So it's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. All right, so things that are coming up this week, and we're going to tie the whole thing together. We're definitely going to tie the whole thing together, including Father's Day, which is not till next weekend. But whatever, it's still Father's Day. All right, let's go bring this one back over here. We're going to add our slide photos back to the picture over here. So this Sunday, June 12th, Oceanside High School, and here's the tie-in on this thing, right? About maybe those in other industries not seeing the benefit of the product. This probably doesn't sound right if I say it like this, as the product, but what is the product over here? Is it the car? Is it the car show? Is that? I think what's being developed and continues to be developed and really should be developed. And I saw something on Facebook that was pretty interesting. What is the role of a teacher, right? Is the role of a teacher to just disseminate information, and then whatever that student needs more information, they go back to that teacher? Then they become dependent upon the teacher, right? So that's not really it. I think a teacher actually teaches the students how to learn, how to continually learn, how to go find those resources, the information that they need for themselves, but figure out where to go to best get that information, not to just rely on one source, not to just rely on one person, and not just to rely even on one way of getting information. There's so many different, especially nowadays, right? The technology, there's so many different ways of doing that. Well, so many different ways. So it's the same thing here, right? These students that have built this car, in essence, you could say they are the they are the next generation of entrepreneurs, the workforce. They are the next generation of developers. They are the next generation of thinkers that is going to take our world and make it into a better place. And I truly believe that it will go into a better place. Every generation should see some improvement. And that is something that we all need to really, really focus on. So these students, what are they learning by building a car? So many different things. And I've mentioned it, right? I mean, the hands-on side of things, but that's only a part of it. That just is such a part of the whole thing. I mean, they're learning how to deal with a problem. What is the problems they face? You know what? I can only guess because I'm an outsider looking in. But when you build a car from the ground up, there's a multitude of different mechanical problems that take place. A multitude of different like little operational issues that come up. One of the other guys that I've gotten to know, he's building his own car too. I find that stuff fascinating. By the way, I can't build anything. My lawnmower doesn't run. I got an issue. I got to go call somebody. Really something else. But they're building these things. And he's like, oh yeah, well, this happened, so I had to adjust it this way, and this is what I was able to do, and I moved this part around, and I welded here, and I did this. I'm like, wow, how do you learn to do that? How do you learn to weld? Well, you know what? Maybe that just is a mechanical type thing, and there are different levels of welding skills, not schools, but welding skills that are out there, which I didn't know anything about till a few years back after getting involved with this whole idea of the Long Island needs a drag strip and the automotive industry and stuff like that. I didn't know. And I'm very much an outsider looking in. But these students are really truly learning how to think, learning how to deal with an issue that comes up, learning how to take a step back, perhaps, and really taking a third party point of view on something to see if it is doable to correct that thing or not. If it's realistic to change something or not. And where is the best resource? Who is the best person to go take a look at it? Is it somebody that's very creative, or is it somebody that really knows how to do those the blueprint writing or the computer aided design, the robotic person that really loves that aspect of it, that could fool with a computer to such an extent that they could come up with all kinds of answers? These are questions. And I really think, though, that those students are learning all about that aspect of it. And that's pretty fascinating. Why so much on promoting the idea of getting down to this car show that's in Oceanside? And for those of us in Suffolk County, it's a ride, to get down there, because it's so important to support that idea. It's important to support that school because they went out of their way. They came to that HIA trade show and everything like that. So they went out of their way to do it. That school really wants to participate in different trade shows and really be involved where they possibly can because they saw the benefit. They directly saw the benefit of those students attending a trade show to see what careers are out there with the skills that they have learned at the high school by doing different things. And they've learned a lot and they saw a lot. They saw a lot of opportunities. So now I want to see if we could do here is to help them become more visible with the car that they built, with the effort that that school has put into their technology program, which has not only recently put this car together, but in the past they put that boat together. But the biggest thing they built is students that are energetic, motivated, and will become great employees or employers or entrepreneurs, phrase it like you will. So anything we could do to help get that effort in front of the business community and continue to support the business community to participate and help these vocational programs at the school, I think that's great. Because I know there are a bunch of other obstacles that come along the way too, right? How do you fund something like this? What do you do? Can the school drop $1 million or whatever the number is to develop a new program? I don't know. I don't know if it's in their budget or not, right? I mean, it's always been a thing over here, what to do with the budget, right? How much can the community pay for? And realistically speaking, how much can some communities really pay for some of these programs when you hear a lot about these schools that are cutting programs? What are you doing though? I mean, I understand that there's a monetary issue that falls into that category. What's fun? I just had a message pop up on my computer about electric auto racing. That's right, electric auto racing. But are they like shorting, capping the careers of these students because they're not being exposed to things at an earlier age? I mean, like, we look at these professional golfers, right? Take a Tiger Woods or something like that. When did Tiger Woods start playing golf? When did so many of these people that are professional athletes start doing their thing? Even race car drivers, stuff like, when I was a little kid, I used to race go-karts. Or I used to go to driving range when I was, in elementary school, stuff like that. Well, if we could bring more and more of these things and continue to support more and more of these things at the high school, junior high, elementary schools, even. Wow. I mean, think about the possibilities with these students because they were exposed to it, not because their family grew up in it or not because they lived in a certain area. I'm talking about all the schools across the board getting this stuff, getting exposed to these things. That's great. And maybe one school can't do it, but the other school nearby can do it. Maybe there's some ability for them to share in that, which is what the Wilson Tech in the Long Island area, at least the Wilson Tech and the BOCES programs are. Summer programs, going back to the CWIT, there was a group out there that has a summer camp. It's technology summer camp. Kids are going to learn how to build, basically going to learn how to build robots. They're learning how to use their skills in computer programming to develop a robot online and then actually build it in real person, in real life. Great stuff. So that's the stuff I want to support. That's the whole idea behind getting behind, this car show. So I'm certainly going to be down there. It's 10 to 12, Oceanside High School, free to attend, all good. Just go support. Even if you can pop down there just for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. You want to find students, you want to find the instructors, and there's a couple of them, and I'm sure they'll be standing out. I'm sure they'll be standing right by that car because it's definitely cool. Definitely cool. And there was one thing that was a surprise about it. They opted not to paint the car. They left it like that. And they put a coating on there and things like that. But I think that's kind of cool. Engine is beautiful, nice color. The rest of the car, it's that. That is kind of neat. Really good. Shows you what these students can do. Long Beach School's got a car show. I believe it's the following week. They opted to paint the car. What would you do? That's a good question. That's a who cares question. What would you do? But man, I love that whole thing. Definitely good. So anyway, so if you get down there, do that. If I get some photos of the whole thing, share it. And by all means, share it. And if you're in the business community and you're thinking about how can you get involved with the high schools, definitely want to do that. Definitely want to do that. There's a breakfast meeting I got next week with a group that is small breakfast meeting. And that is the company that I work with when it comes to these high school presentations. They're coordinating the effort between their company, the high schools, and the business community. Ron Loveland with the manufacturing group, right? He's the co-chair of the manufacturing committee at the HIA. Very, very involved. In October, they will be doing another manufacturing day. I think it's going to turn out to a manufacturing month for them to to go out there and do this thing. So it'll be great. And their whole idea there is to expose the students to as many different companies as possible, and all things being equal, to give tours around where it is possible. All right, let us move on here. So next week, so that's Sunday, 10 to 12. And then the following week, hey, how about this? The Miller Business Morning. They are, this is actually June 17th. So that is the 10th. So that is next Friday at the Miller Business Center. All right, they do this. So let's talk TikTok. I have nothing much to say about TikTok. I think I put one video. I saw this thing. I was like, oh yeah, TikTok. Why? Why? Why should I be on TikTok? I didn't even want to tell you. I didn't want to tell you. But then but I did have an account. I don't remember when I opened that thing. I did open an account. And I found I had 3 followers. Smoking hot. No bio. I have no bio in there. I posted absolutely nothing in there. Nothing across the board. Somehow I had 3 followers. I don't know. I don't. I really don't know. I think I could figure out why I had that because TikTok's tied in with Facebook and it could figure out your friends and stuff like that. So they saw my profile and just did it. So thank you to those 3 people. That became there. But posting videos and posting things, I did take a look into it a little bit more. And you can post videos and they could be up to 10 minutes in length. That's pretty interesting. And I wonder, and again, I don't know, but I wonder if TikTok is kind of making an effort to compete against maybe YouTube, in that space. So you have YouTube videos and you have TikTok videos. Maybe the two talk to each other, you can post on both. I don't really know. I don't really know, but it would be pretty interesting, to go and see. I know the YouTube does not have a length requirement or anything like that, but it's fascinating. This becomes the the obstacle, you know, working through the obstacle of things. I am not your social media guy. I am absolutely positively am not. Right? You want to get a little bit more confident when you're speaking. You get that elevator pitch together, which is the next thing I got coming up. That is at the Entrepreneur's Toolkit. That's right, at the Miller Business Center. So this is Tuesday from 9 to 10:30. Free to attend. Register. Last I was told, we have over 50 people registered already, so that's exciting. It is going to be interactive. I'm going to get to talk for 90 minutes about how to create an elevator pitch and actually not let you do it. That would be kind of ludicrous, you know. Yeah, I could probably yak for that amount of time, but it's no value in that one. Let's do it. Let's really do it. Let's get feedback from our friends, the rest of that kind of stuff. I'll tell you what I think the ingredients are, should go in there and why, and different, and other places that it can be used too. And maybe, just maybe, on your LinkedIn page, when it says that you could add a video, maybe on your TikTok page where you definitely can add a video, maybe on your own website in that about section, you could put a little video, about your elevator pitch. Should they all be the same? No, no, definitely not. It should be different, but it should be depending on what you do and all the rest of that stuff and whatever. So that'll be pretty interesting as that moves along. So I'm really looking forward to that. So that's free. That's Tuesday, June 14th at the Miller Business Center, 9 to 10:30. Yeah, obviously, well, networking is going to be a part of this whole thing because if we do this right, it'd be interesting if we have 50 people remember what's key in everybody else's story. Now that'll be a quiz. See how many we can get right. Oh, maybe that would be an interesting thing to do. There we go. Definitely interactive. So anyhow, so that's on the 12th. It's on the 14th. So the 12th Sunday, we're taking photos with the cars. The 14th, we're learning about elevator pitches and where to use them and stuff like that. And then on the 14th, we're learning about TikTok. And then there's another week that'll come up. I think they do another TikTok online, but the 17th TikTok presentation by Henry Bramwell, good friend. We'll be talking about that. So what's the tie-in with the whole thing? Oh, Father's Day. Let's not forget Father's Day. Father's Day. So we got to send some of these photos out to my dad. He's into the older cars too. Chevys, because he used to own one. Don't forget Father's Day. Falls on a Sunday, which is nice. Hopefully the weather will be good. That'd be good. So I have the weather good this Sunday and the weather good the following Sunday. So there we go. So what is this whole thing about over here with elevator pitches, TikTok, Miller Business Center, the school, and all the rest of it? Where is the tie-in with all of these things? Tell you the tie-in for me has always been the microphone, right? I like to tell stories, I like to have other people tell stories and be clear about it. So that's my big tie-in on the whole thing, with that. And that includes these students and others when they're going to when they're doing interviews, right? And finding those careers and keeping that going and helping companies grow. Because the more clearer we are on everything, just overall speaking here, the clearer we are in our goals, business goals, personal goals, weight loss goals, strength goals, exercise goals, career goals, education goals, call them whatever you will. But the clearer we are with ourselves on those things, the greater chance that you're going to have of actually achieving those goals as that comes up. Let's get rid of that. There we go. So you got to get, there you go. You got to get your shift together. Not my book. That's Steve Rizzo. But the clearer you are, the clearer we all are when it comes to communicating, the better it is. That's why I kind of like that space. There's a lot of number of things I do. I just enjoy doing. The ACNY Foundation. Why that? What is that? What is that? That actually is about careers. So the aspect of that whole thing is working with students and speaking at the high schools and helping the students gain clarity as to who they are and where they want to go from a career standpoint. That lent itself over to the opportunities, make sure the opportunities are there, and that lent itself over to the manufacturing group, speaking with those businesses about getting involved with the schools because it's good. Again, clarity of goals, clarity of who we are, very important, really super important. Even the stuff with the automotive industry that became there, that became another tool. Wow, you know what? I think there would be. There was a study that was done about if there was a drag strip out here, it would add something like $17 million to the economy. Caught my attention. I like living here. If the economy on Long Island continues to improve, it's a good thing. If more and more people are paying their fair share of the taxes and all that stuff, that's a good thing. Right? Selfishly speaking, that's a good thing. That's got nothing to do with, I guess, the clarity of goals there is for my, all of our taxes not to go up, right? They go down. More people pay, it's good, right? That's the group effort on the whole thing. But the clarity of goal, that really becomes it. See, even the elevator pitch. Why am I interested in doing that? Yeah, do I enjoy standing in front of a crowd? Absolutely, right? Be nice to stand in front of a live crowd as opposed to just talking to a camera all the time. All right, so it's fun. But the other side of it too is that funny, frustrating sometimes when you go someplace and like ask people, "What do you do?" And it's not that clear. If I interview people for a podcast, and I'm talking for this kind of thing, and it's you're not that clear as to what your goals are or what your value is, and the rest of that stuff, if you're not clear on it, how am I going to share that with somebody? I find it frustrating. Right? I find it frustrating. I've even had people that really, really needed. Uh, I needed to spend a good amount of time with them, and they were established businesses. Like, and this is not. I don't think it was nerves about doing something like this. It was just not clear, not clear. And that's when I got introduced to Arthur Germain with brand telling. It was the same kind of thing. It's like he works with companies with retelling their story, not figuring it out. They got it. They just need that professional assistance in making sure that information goes out correctly, and it's clear to others, which is the same thing as your elevator pitch, right? It's the same darn thing. You share your elevator pitch. And if it's not clear and if it's not understood by others, then your brand is missed. Your efforts are missed. Your growth, your personal growth is missed. It's missed. I mean, even when it comes to weight loss, right? How many people, oh, yeah, I want to get down to whatever number, right? I want to lose 10 pounds. Well, what happens after you lose the 10 pounds, right? What happens when you get to that number? You go back to your old habits. That's not it. That's not it. It's not the face of it. I want new clients. Why? Well, because this way I make more money. No, but why? What is it that you're really looking to create? What is it that you really, really want to see be built? What is it? Why do you want to lose weight? Because you want to be healthier. Because you want to be around for your kids, grandkids. You want to do all the rest of that stuff. Got a great story on that one. Even on the business side of things, why do I want something to have recurring revenue? So it's easier? No. Maybe it's because you want a saleable business. Maybe because you want a business. You want a real business with consistent cash flow coming through. Think about that. And why do you do what you do? Right? You are able to share why you do what you do with people clearly. That's great. That'll help everybody move along. And that's what it's all about. And that is why you need that. You need to speak clearly, my friends. So, to that, let's take away just that one thing here today. Speak clearly. Know exactly what it is you want to say clearly so people could repeat it to others. Maybe I'll see you Sunday. Maybe I'll see you Tuesday. Maybe I'll see you Friday. Hopefully, we'll see you next time on Tomato Talk. Have a great day.